Hey, welcome to my giant mess. I'm going to show you how to use the neckline add-on from Rad Patterns. So there are written instructions as well that have the link to this video, but it's one of those things that's kind of easier to show rather than try to tell in words. So you're going to have your neckline add-on piece, which is probably going to look a lot nicer than mine because we're still in pattern creation, so mine's all handwritten, but you should look similar to this. We've got the shoulder marked and center front or center back, depending on if you're using the front or back piece at this moment. So I'm going to be working with the front. And then you've got another pattern. So I'm using the Guernica romper just because it's one that I had already printed out and handy. So you're gonna have that flat on the table, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your little neckline piece. You'll also wanna make sure that you've got a piece or two of extra blank paper. It can be just like scratch paper or the backside of something that you don't need, just in case there are gaps. If you have something with a really low neckline like this one on the original pattern, you're gonna need that paper to fill in the extra. So what you're gonna do is kind of line up the center front mark on your neckline add-on with the center front mark on your add-on piece, and you're going to kind of scoot it up and keep going until you reach the shoulder. So you can see here that my pieces are lined up to each other at the shoulder, and the angle is slightly different. So depending on which pattern you're pairing your neckline add-on with, the shoulder angle may be slightly different. So what you want to do is you want to get this outside point to line up with the top of your shoulder, and then you want to take a ruler and connect from the outside point of your original armhole right here to the inside point of the neckline add-on. And you want to make sure that when you're doing all of this, you've got it lined up at center front. So that's where your extra paper is going to come into play. And it's probably hard to see in the video, and I'm sorry, but there's kind of a little gap right here between the necklines. So what I'm going to do is take this extra blank paper, I'm going to line up the edge with my center front on here. And you can either tape or glue stick it down. So I'm going to use glue stick, just so that stays in place and you've got a nice center front. Then you can line this piece up here, again with your center front, getting up to your shoulder, and gluing that down to your blank paper. Again, just making sure you're lining up at center front. Now I've got this piece high enough that it's kind of cutting in my neckline, so I'll cut that out later. So once you've got it lined up with your shoulder, you're going to take your ruler and connect this point to this point. The angle is just very slightly different, and it just has to do with the slight difference in the original pattern neckline. So what you're going to do now is just draw a line connecting those points, and that's your new shoulder line. So you can go ahead and glue down the rest of this just to kind of fill it in. And then you'll cut your new shoulder line. If you've got extra paper sticking up like I do, you'll cut that as well. And then that's it, that's your new piece. You'll repeat that same process on the back to get the back neckline. And that's it. All right, thanks, bye.